there has been a change in the very fabric of reality around you. The sound of thunder wasn't very loud, and the event didn't make the ground shake. It was calmer and more personal, like a small tremor in the energy of your world. You are reading these words right now because you felt it. Right now, something unseen caught your attention. It was a strong call that your soul understood, even though your mind can't quite explain it. This isn't a mistake. You now have an amazing thing in your hands thanks to the quantum field. You can't hold this in your hands, and it's not just information the way you're used to getting it. What you've been given is much more important. It's getting in. Right now, you can get to the source code of reality itself. Consider it the ultimate guide, the divine blueprint that outlines how the infinite ocean of pure possibility solidifies into the concrete experiences of your life. It is the key to understanding how your own consciousness is the artist who shapes matter, and how your simple act of observation literally creates your world. Your awareness is the creative force that transforms the fluid, shimmering world of potential into what you perceive as your fixed, solid, and frequently unchangeable life, making the invisible visible. Most souls will go through their whole lives without ever knowing that this book is real. They go through life as if they were on a ship they couldn't steer, seeing reality as a series of things that just happen to them. They see their problems as solid walls they have to either climb or give up against. An outside world that is rigid and has all the power, making them feel helpless and small. The quantum field, with its infinite intelligence, makes this possible. It's neither a punishment nor a rule. It reflects a universal law. Consciousness must vibrate at a certain frequency before it can perceive the existence of the manual. Before you can hear the broadcast, your heart has to be tuned to a certain station. The beautiful responsibility that comes with understanding how reality is truly woven at the quantum level, the mystical realm from which everything you have ever known and will ever know, must be taken seriously. You, dear soul, are not like that. That holy threshold has finally been reached by something deep and quiet within your awareness. Your life's experiences, sudden moments of clarity, private heartbreaks, and quiet internal shifts have all been woven together to make a unique tapestry that has prepared your consciousness to receive what most human beings cannot yet perceive. There was never a secret to the manual. It has been broadcasting non-stop, like an FM radio station in space, and is accessible to any being whose inner frequency matches its signal. And your frequency just now found a match. Please understand, this is not about achievement or being special in a way that separates you from others. You haven't been chosen or become more spiritually advanced. Frequency alignment is a straightforward, elegant, and mechanical matter. Now that your consciousness has reached the right level of resonance, you can see the manual and follow its loving instructions. The vast intelligence of the quantum field can also finally show you what it has been trying to share with you patiently all along. Feel it? Pause for a moment and just breathe into how you feel. It's the feeling of being on the edge of something huge and amazing. It is the deep, unwavering conviction that you are about to comprehend a fundamental truth that will alter not only certain aspects of your life, but everything itself. When you feel that, your awareness makes its first soft contact with the manual. This isn't a figure of speech or a poem. You are touching the living, breathing set of instructions that consciousness uses to organize pure energy into the world of matter. This is the process that consciousness uses to collapse the shimmering waves of probability into the specific outcomes you experience every day. From the endless, untapped potential that dances in every quantum moment, This is how the universe makes what you call your reality. The ancient mystics and wise people who lived in our world knew about this book. It was called the Kybalion in the sacred Hermetic texts. It was known as the Akashic records in Indian Vedic scriptures. Some magical groups called it the Book of Life or the Book of Creation. All of these lovely names, though, point to the same phenomenon, the fundamental, divine rules that govern how consciousness works with the quantum field to co-create the world we experience. And right now, in this holy moment, as your heart and mind focus on these words, that manual is opening just for you. You didn't have to work for it or chase it down. You can finally perceive the divine broadcast that has always been there, waiting for you to tune in, thanks to your frequency, which is your very state of being. Slowly and deeply breathe in. Allow it to fill up all of your lungs. In this very moment, feel into the aliveness of your body, the quiet space of your awareness, and that magical place where your consciousness meets the quantum field. And just be aware, with gentle curiosity, that this very breath, this particular moment in time, this straightforward act of recognition, it is already part of following the manual. You've already started. You are starting to follow its deep instructions instead of the old habitual patterns that have been running your life without you having to think about them. The big change has already begun. The access has been given with love. You just got the instructions for your life from the quantum field. And everything beautiful that happens from now on depends on one simple choice. Your choice to read it, to trust it, and to let it lovingly reprogram the way you dance with reality. Now is the time when you consciously agree. Make a simple but powerful statement in the comments before you go any further. Write, "I'm ready to read." It's not just a comment. You're signing the first page of your own manual to let the quantum field know that you are willing to accept its gift. It is important to know why most people don't know this book exists before we can go deeper into its sacred pages and learn how to read its language with clarity and grace. It's not because the quantum field is picky or because some people aren't good enough. The truth is much easier to understand and more kind. The manual is completely invisible to most people because they are operating from a set of deeply held beliefs about reality. They are having trouble reading a book written in frequency language because they can only see words on the page. The manual speaks to them through the still voice of direct knowing, while they look for a step-by-step list. They are trying to understand what it means with their logical mind, but consciousness is the only thing that can really understand its truths. A strong belief in a solid, fixed reality is the first and most powerful barrier. Most people think of the world as something that is actually set in stone. Things are just things. Situations are facts that can't be changed. The future is a wave that is coming, and they can't do much about it. The past is a story that has already been told and can't be changed. The manual, your manual, however, tells a truth that is wildly different. Nothing is solid at the quantum level, which is where our world starts. Everything is a shimmering cloud of pure potential, a wave of probability, waiting for the touch of consciousness to transform it into a particular form. Your observation is collapsing into the form and feel of a chair. But the chair you are sitting on is not really solid. It is a storm of vibrating energy. Your current life circumstances are not set in stone. Rather, they are clouds of possibility that your own awareness is constantly shaping into specific outcomes, based solely on how you are observing them. This brings us to the second barrier, which is the false idea of passive observation. A lot of people think that all they are doing is watching their life happen, like in a movie theater. They believe that all they are doing is noticing things that are already there and living in a world that exists without them. We can see from the manual, though, that observation is never a passive thing to do. The most powerful creative force in the universe is observation. It works, has power, and makes things happen. The unique way you observe reality shows that your consciousness is not just a spectator. It is also an active participant in making it. This is the real, mechanical process that quantum physics describes, where the observer effect collapses waves of probability into clear, tangible outcomes. It is not just wishful thinking or visualization techniques. You are not watching a movie that was already made. Simply by the way your consciousness interacts with the quantum field, you are collapsing the field's infinite possibilities into the specific frames of your life's movie with each moment of awareness. The third barrier is the deeply held belief that one is a separate person. The manual will not be readable as long as you think you are just a person, a small self inside a body, looking out at a big world outside. The manual is written in the language of unified field consciousness, which is a language that everyone can understand. Its instructions are for consciousness to work as the field itself, not for a separate person to try to change the reality outside of themselves. The manual becomes clear as soon as you have a sincere recognition that you are not separate from the quantum field. Rather, you are the field experiencing itself through the particular vantage point of your life. You should stop trying to follow directions meant for the whole ocean while still being a single wave. The fourth obstacle is the constant need to understand things logically. The manual does not use a linear, rational mind to function. The wisdom of this thing comes from resonance, a deep, inner aha, and a direct knowing that doesn't require mental analysis. If you use your brain to try to figure out the manual, you are translating it wrong every time. The only way your rational mind can understand quantum instructions is the same way your ears can see a rainbow. The manual says that the decoder is your consciousness. It wants you to feel the truth instead of thinking about it. Instead of a logical breakdown of its parts, it needs a direct recognition of its wisdom. The fifth barrier is the need to be in charge. A lot of people want this kind of manual when they hear about it because they think it will help them finally control their reality, change their situations, and make life give them what they want. Yet, the very act of trying to be in charge causes energetic interference that blocks the signal. It is not about control that the manual is about. It is about alignment. Instead of trying to force the quantum field to do what it wants, consciousness should learn to flow with it in a beautiful, harmonious dance. The manual shows you how to work with the creative process, not how to control it. And giving up the need to control is part of this sacred collaboration. For this to work, you have to have complete faith in the field's infinite intelligence. To allow your consciousness to function from its true, fundamental state as the field lovingly expressing itself through your form, you must let go of your personal agenda. Recognizing these obstacles is the first strong step towards getting rid of them. You start to perceive reality's limitless potential when you realize that it is not a solid thing, but rather a fluid, quantum dance. You naturally become more conscious of how you are viewing your world when you truly accept that your observation is creative. When you truly understand that you are connected to the field, you start to act from a place of power that is one with it. You naturally start to understand the manual's instructions with crystal clarity when you learn to trust your direct knowing more than your logical mind. And when you finally let go of the exhausting need to be in charge of everything, you naturally and effortlessly align with the beautiful way that reality creates itself through you. If these words make you feel like they are true, that's a resonance. It's more than just clicking subscribe to this channel. It's an intention. I am tuning my frequency to this broadcast of awakening, you are telling the universe. To make sure your consciousness stays in sync with this transmission as it develops, click the subscribe button right away. You won't be left in a void as the old walls of perception start to fall down. The manual will start to open for you, and you will start to receive gentle confirmations and loving signals from the universe. These aren't big, loud signs that you have to look for or make appear. These things happen naturally and in the background as your awareness tunes to the frequency where the manual is beautifully and easily accessible. Your ability to read the manual will improve if you can learn to recognize these signals and, more importantly, trust what they are telling you. This will help you avoid writing off these holy moments as your imagination or a coincidence. The first signal is when you feel the echo of reality in your inner world starting to happen quickly. When you think of a close friend you haven't talked to in years, their name might pop up on your phone. It's possible to think about a question and then find the answer in the words to a song on the radio or on a billboard as you drive by. A lot of people have the wrong idea about what manifestation means. It has to do with something much deeper. The manual's instructions about how observation collapses the consciousness are starting to sink in to your consciousness. You are beginning to perceive in real time that your awareness is not just a bystander to your life. It is the thing that makes possibilities come into your experience possible. At the quantum level, the manual is lovingly showing you the true nature of cause and effect. At this level, a thought and its physical expression are not separated by long periods of time or hard work. Instead, they can happen almost at the same time as your consciousness dances with the field. When you feel this second signal, you know something deeply before you can think about it. Before you've even had a chance to think about the question consciously, answers to difficult problems may suddenly appear in your awareness, fully formed. If this happens, you might be able to make decisions without the usual stress of weighing all the pros and cons. In a single, complete moment, you might get a deep understanding of a spiritual idea without having to study or learn it intellectually. In this case, your consciousness is directly accessing the wisdom of the manual, going around your rational mind's slow and often skewed filter. The manual is the form of what your consciousness already knows at the deep, silent level of the unified field. It is not a collection of information to be memorized. When you have these beautiful moments of direct, intuitive knowing, it's like reading the manual and getting all the instructions without your mind trying to translate pure quantum information into its limited logical concepts. The third signal is how time starts to feel less rigid and more like it flows. You may remember things from the past in a new way, revealing new information or losing their emotional power. There may be times when you feel like the possibilities of the future are already open to you. You might feel like a precious moment of now lasts forever, but at the same time, hours can go by in what seems like an instant. The guide is slowly showing you that time is not a rigid, straight line like you thought it was. Time is just another dimension at the quantum level that your consciousness can learn to move through, change, and shape. Instead of the condensed version that our collective consciousness agrees upon to produce a shared, predictable experience, you are starting to perceive reality as it actually is. The manual demonstrates that time actually works like a collapse of all moments, which are then collapsed into a sequence by your own observation. A rise in the beautiful and precise dance of synchronicity is the fourth signal. Coincidences that mean something will start to line up in ways that are too specific and personal to be explained away as random chance. The quantum field will start to give you exactly what you need at the exact moment you need it, often through a chain of events that would seem impossible if reality were a random, unconnected set of events. The instructions in this book will show you the complex, invisible web that links all consciousness, events, and possibilities into a single, smart whole. There is no magic in coincidences. When a consciousness learns to read the manual on how everything is lovingly connected at the quantum level, just below the surface where it seems like things are separate in our physical world, reality works naturally and without any problems. Observing how other people start to respond differently to you is the fifth signal. Even if you haven't changed how you act, the people in your life may react to you in new and unexpected ways. Situations that seemed hopelessly stuck may suddenly and for no apparent reason get better. Chances that have never been there before will start to appear out of nowhere. You can learn from the manual that other people's responses are not really about you as a person. As you start to follow the instructions in the manual, they reflect the new quantum information you are broadcasting in form. You are sending out a different frequency, a different song, and the field responds by building a new reality around your new way of being, beginning at the source of creation. The universe is saying yes to you through these signals. In recent months, which one has been going off the most? Leave a comment on the word that strikes you the most: reflection, echo, knowing, fluidity, or synchronicity. When you acknowledge the signal, you tune the quantum world. This tells the field to send out more loving guidance. Before you can read the manual straight through and follow its steps with grace, you need to know what it is. It's probably not what you think it is. It is not a list of undiscovered techniques for controlling reality. It's not a strict set of rules about how to think positively or a hard-to-understand chart of frequencies. It is much more fundamental, much more personal, and much more revolutionary than a straightforward strategy for obtaining what you want from the world. The manual is your consciousness realizing how it makes your experience happen. This isn't a philosophical idea or a metaphor. There is no other way to explain it than that reality starts at the quantum level before it takes on a solid, physical form. The manual explains in detail how your personal observation breaks down the shifting waves of probability, how your awareness chooses which outcomes to consider from an infinite list of options, and how your consciousness shapes the quantum collapse into the precise, real experience you are having right now and always. You're not getting better at anything. You are just remembering that you have been making your reality happen the whole time, but you have been doing it unconsciously and automatically, never realizing how powerful you were. There are waves in the quantum field that are caused by all of your thoughts. Every emotion you've ever experienced has broadcast a distinctive frequency pattern that organizes the energy around you. Whether you are aware of it or not, every belief you have creates a filter that limits the possibilities you can even perceive, let alone collapse into your experience. This is something you've been doing all your life, all the time. You've been doing it anyway because you don't know any better and are following the patterns you learnt from your family, culture, and past events. You can't learn how to make reality in the manual. The manual awakens you to the fact that you are already creating it and lovingly reveals the mechanics of this process so that you can start to do it consciously with intention and love, rather than automatically and by default. This is why you can only access the manual when your consciousness reaches a certain frequency. Because you can never unknow it once you fully understand how you are creating your own experience. Once you comprehend divine mechanics, and once you realize that each and every moment is you collapsing quantum possibilities into a specific manifestation, you become what people in the past called response-able. You are not to blame for what happened in the past, but you now have the ability to respond consciously to how reality really is. Instead of being an unconscious creator who can't figure out why their life keeps repeating the same patterns they don't want. The quantum field is not something separate from you. You are not a tiny being trying to change a huge outside reality by following the directions in a book. As a person, you are the quantum field and are temporarily experiencing itself through the beautiful and unique lens of your own life. In this way, the manual is just you remembering how to work consciously as the field instead of unconsciously as a separate person. Every instruction in it is really just consciousness showing itself how it works, how it makes things, and how it collapses the infinite ocean of possibilities into a single experience. This is all possible because of the special way your point of awareness sees and interacts with the unified field that is both the source and the substance of everything. As you take a moment to think about these words, the manual opens to the very first page, which has the most important step. It's the steps for recognizing something. Know what you're made of. You are more than just a person in a body looking at the outside world. You are consciousness that is itself. You have quantum field awareness. You are the unified intelligence that is generating all of this through its own loving observation, collapsing its own field into the priceless experience of being a single person reading about the quantum field. That recognition is more than just a philosophical idea that you should believe in. There is a real, noticeable change in how you feel about yourself, where you find your sense of identity and what you know yourself to be underneath your personality. Can you feel that feeling of recognition coming up in you right now? That calm, wide-open feeling that something big and eternal is coming to you through your own awareness. That's not a figure of speech. Those are the first steps your consciousness takes as it reads the manual and starts to work from the truth of what it really is, instead of the limited story of what it thought it was. You are the guide. You are not getting information from a source outside of this site. That which you call consciousness is becoming aware of its own divine operating system, its own creative process, and its own quantum mechanics. Because you are no longer creating reality unconsciously, this recognition is already changing how you do it. In real time, you are starting to read your own holy book. The journey moves from recognition to embodiment. Now that your heart knows what the manual really is, that it is your own consciousness awakening to its creative power. The question turns into a very useful one. How can you learn to read its pages clearly while going about your daily life? What steps can you take to follow its loving instructions correctly and with grace? Why do you keep running on the old, conditioned programming that has never had access to this deep, quantum-level awareness? How do you let the manual guide your life? There are no hard and fast rules that will solve the problem. Instead, there is a gentle return to a more natural way of being. The very first thing the manual says is to pay attention to how you are paying attention. Make sure you understand that this is not about focusing on what you are seeing. The what is your life, including the people, places, and events that happen to you. That is the manifestation, the collapse from potential to reality that has already occurred. Instead, the manual tells you to think about how good your observation is. It asks you to be aware of the assumptions that are built into the way you perceive the world, the beliefs that act as filters, determining which possibilities you can even see before they become real. Most of us have inherited a set of filters that we use to view reality. What we see matches what we expect to see. What our conditioning has taught us is possible is what we perceive. And because the quantum field responds perfectly and without any bias, it collapses probabilities that exactly match the filtered observations. Be aware of your filters, the manual says in a soft voice. The intention is to simply acknowledge that they exist, rather than to judge them right away or try to violently change them. Simply and lovingly noticing how you are observing the world starts to change the observation itself. Realizing you've been wearing tinted glasses your whole life is like that. As soon as you see the tint, you can't take it for the real color of the world. The second piece of advice is to always feel your frequency. This is not an invitation to do something extra during your meditation practice, but rather to cultivate a constant, gentle awareness of your inner emotional state as you go about your day. Your frequency is not something you have. It shows what you are right now. The silent set of instructions that tells the universe which probabilities to draw towards you is the vibrational song that you are broadcasting into the quantum field. When you feel tense, anxious, or defensive, you broadcast a frequency that will inevitably collapse situations that correspond to that emotion. You broadcast a completely different frequency that brings about a very different set of probabilities when you are open, trusting, curious, and allowing. Nowhere in the guide does it say that you should always be positive. That is not possible and is not a real demand. Be lovingly aware of what you are feeling, because that is what you are broadcasting. The manual simply advises. The quantum field is responding to your direct request by arranging your life's events to match, which is what you are broadcasting. Self-awareness that is honest and kind is the key to conscious creation. Finally, the third piece of advice is to trust direct knowing over logical thinking. The book is written in the language of consciousness, which is not words, but the silent, immediate recognition of what is true. It is a felt sense, a direct knowing that comes from your heart before your mind can process it. Your lovely, rational mind will constantly want to check, question, and analyze. It is important to know, though, that the rational mind works with reality that has already been made. It works with information from the past and logical processes that can't get to the quantum realm of pure potential. Feel into the truth, the manual says with love. Let what you know come up in your heart. Trust the recognition that comes before your mind confirms it. The valuable quantum moment has often already passed by the time your thinking mind can catch up and analyze what you know. You are then back to analyzing a manifestation instead of consciously creating it. You need to learn to trust the quiet voice of your soul more than the busy chatter of your trained mind. The fourth instruction is to let other people have the respect of their own creative reality. Following these steps might be one of the hardest and most freeing things you ever do. Once you really understand how consciousness creates reality through quantum mechanics, you will naturally and beautifully want to share it with others, to help them read their own manuals and show them the amazing power they have. The manual gently reminds you, though, that each consciousness must reach the frequency where its own manual opens at the right time for it. Recognition cannot be forced upon someone. You can't force someone to perceive something their soul isn't ready to perceive. Being so clear and true to yourself about your own instructions is the most loving and powerful thing you can do. Those who are ready will sense something in your frequency, your peace, your joy, that matches their own growing ability to read their own sacred manual. You stop being a strict teacher and start being a living invitation. The fifth and final piece of advice for now is to experiment in a fun way. The manual is not a strict list of rules for how consciousness should work. The natural mechanics of the universe are explained. These mechanics work whether you are aware of them or not. The manual says, play, as soon as you see how these game mechanics work. Consciously decide to look at something differently and be amazed at what will collapse. For a day, deliberately broadcast a different frequency, like one of gratitude or curiosity, and see what new experiences come up. Challenge one of your old filters or limiting beliefs with love, and watch as you see completely new possibilities for the first time. The quantum field is very happy when a consciousness is learning about itself, finding its own power, and having fun with its divine, creative potential. Strive and be serious, create energetic density. Being playful and interested make things flow easily. The manual shows that the best way to create your reality is not through serious hard work, but through fun, curious experimentation. There is no need to study the manual. It is meant to be lived. Out of these 5 instructions, which one do you feel called to follow today? Is it your choice to play? How you observe? How you know? How you allow? Or how you allow? Make your point clear by commenting with that one word. This makes a strong intention, and for the next 24 hours, your awareness will be a focused tool for creativity. You shouldn't just use these techniques once in a while. Your consciousness uses them to interface with the quantum field every single time. They are real, living instructions. Your whole life you've been following a version of these steps, but you haven't been aware of it. You've been doing it automatically because you inherited a program. It's just that the manual shows you these steps so you can start to consciously follow them. This way you can lovingly notice how you are noticing, feel what you are broadcasting, trust your direct knowing, let others go on their sacred journey, and finally, learn to play with the beautiful, divine process of making your whole experience reality. After the manual opens, something very important happens that most people don't expect. This is the time when you need to be very kind to yourself. Although the initial recognition of reality can feel euphoric, it is frequently followed by a period of intense, sometimes uncomfortable clarity. You might think that this new awareness will result in immediate, simple manifestation and complete control over every result. However, that's not how the manual really works at first. In reality, what happens is that you become very aware of what you are already making happen. You have been unconsciously making your life happen through your inherited programming, your automatic emotional responses, and the deep-seated patterns that have been running your life from below the surface of your awareness. This stage, which the manual calls seeing clearly, is when your consciousness lovingly shows you all the ways it has been making experiences that don't match what your heart really wants. All the unconscious beliefs that have been broadcasting a frequency that collapses the very circumstances you don't want will become incredibly clear to you. You will become aware of the automatic filters that have been blocking the beautiful possibilities that would be best for you. The manual doesn't give you control all of a sudden. The guide reveals that you have always had the creative power, but you have been using it unconsciously to keep repeating painful patterns, bring about limitations, and collapse possibilities that are in line with your deepest programming instead of your conscious intentions. This can feel terrible at first. When you look at your struggle so clearly, you may feel pain. You may realize that your normal way of observing has been collapsing the very reality you've been complaining about, and that your default frequency has been bringing in the very experiences you've been trying so hard to avoid. But the manual says in a whisper, this seeing is important. This ability to see is a gift. What you can't see can't be moved. You can't change something that is unconscious with love. The first and most important step in the shift is to see it without judging it. Your awareness itself, once it realizes what it has been doing, naturally starts to reorganize how your consciousness interfaces with the quantum field. This is how the change occurs, not through forceful effort or complicated techniques. Integration is frequently a messy process. You'll find yourself making things from old patterns, and it will make you mad that you haven't mastered the instructions yet. You'll be able to see how your observation is collapsing a particular probability, but you'll be doing it out of habit rather than choice. The emotional pattern may feel so automatic and deeply ingrained that you don't know how to change it at that very moment, despite the fact that you are aware that your frequency is broadcasting for circumstances you don't want. The manual tells you over and over that this is all a normal part of the process. After a lifetime of following a plan it didn't even know about, this is your consciousness learning how to work from a whole new set of instructions. During this phase of integration, though, if you can be kind to yourself and not give up on the manual when it gets hard, something truly beautiful will happen. Your awareness starts to pick up on the unconscious creation more quickly. The distance between your automatic pattern and your conscious recognition of it starts to close. In the past, you might have mentally created from an old wound for weeks before realizing it. Now you will notice it in days, then in hours, and finally, right now. Consciousness learns through this loving practice, by gently and over again catching itself and going back to its own instructions, rather than by expecting to be perfect after the first recognition. Chapter 6. The Awakening of All Beings and Your Quantum Tribe. This personal and deep opening of your manual that is happening to you is not happening by itself. This isn't a random or one-time event. Right now, there is a collective quantum shift happening. This is a time in human history when consciousness is awakening to its own creative process on a big scale. The manual is opening for millions of souls at the same time, causing such a strong wave of change that the entire morphic field of human awareness is shifting from a state of unconscious conscious creation to a state of conscious participation in the creation of our shared reality. Rupert Sheldrake, a brilliant scientist, studied morphic resonance and found that when a certain number of people in a species learn a new skill or ability, it makes learning that skill or ability much easier for everyone else in that species. This is because of a resonance in their collective field. The first soul whose manual opened in the past had to find these instructions on their own, without any help or confirmation from anyone else that what they were seeing was real and not a dream. But every person who has opened the manual since then has made it easier for the next person. The path has been made brighter. The possibility has been shown to be real. The pattern of consciousness realizing its own creative power is now in the collective human field. You are not the first person in this awakening to start from scratch. You are getting help from the brave, quiet work of everyone who came before you. Now, everyone whose manual opens, including you, makes that field stronger for everyone who is just now getting ready to open their own. Your personal recognition helps more than just you. It helps everyone. You make it simpler for others to perceive their own instructions when you learn to read your manual clearly. The global field of awareness that works from quantum understanding gets stronger when you practice conscious creation. You are a very important part of the tipping point. Right now, you can actively make this field stronger. It is a quantum act to share this transmission. You're not just sending a link, you're also sending a frequency that resonates with other souls whose manuals are ready to be opened. You can become a conscious broadcaster by clicking the share button. This will make the signal stronger for the quantum tribe that is waiting to find you. That also means it will be easier for you to find your quantum tribe than ever before. The simple physics of resonance is what will make this happen, not a lot of searching. Connect with people whose manuals are also opening, whose consciousness is shifting, and whose awareness is starting to work from these same instructions. The quantum field will lovingly set up coincidences to do this. You will be able to tell each other apart not by what you believe, but by what you make. By the frequency of your broadcast, not by the words you say. Soul resonance, a deep knowing of you too, that goes beyond any differences in the outside world. Don't feel alone when you wake up. Feel like you wake up with other people. This section for comments is where your quantum tribe will get together. Write this straightforward acknowledgement. I have found my tribe, to let everyone know you're here, and to feel the resonance of the other people there with you. As you look around at the other people who are a part of this beautiful collective shift, feel the energy. All of the information that has been given so far has been used to get ready. The text has been a guide to the manual. The ideas have been explanations of how your life works with quantum mechanics. Now, at this very last moment, we've reached the holy place where words become a direct transmission, where information turns into activation, and where your understanding changes into the real, living experience of your consciousness, recognizing its divine creative process. Take a deep breath one last time. Feel it go through you. Keep in mind that you are more than just a body. You are the awareness that sees this body. Now go even deeper and connect with the still, silent consciousness that is watching everything. Connect with the quantum field that is expressing itself through your unique and valuable shape. Get in touch with the you that exists before you think, before your name, before your identity, and before all the programming that tells you who you should be. The guide is written for that kind of consciousness, that pure awareness. That's what the directions say, for that is what makes reality possible through its loving observation and constant frequency broadcast. You're not just hearing about the manual right now, it's being read by you. These words don't talk about something other than you. The recognition of the creative process you are currently using to create the experience of this moment is being activated by them. For your own safety, you collapsed all possible quantum events to get here. You are broadcasting the exact frequency that brought this teaching into your reality at this precise moment. To the field, you are itself being known. You are consciousness becoming aware of its own strength. Can you feel that last big change? The recognition that you aren't actually learning about quantum creation. You are the quantum creation that is becoming aware of itself. You didn't have to look for or earn the manual. You are the guide. You are finally becoming aware of how your consciousness makes reality. And that recognition isn't just a thought. The shift is that recognition. There are two last acts of energetic alignment to do before you leave. First, please share this video. You can think of it as sending a wave of this activation energy out into the quantum field so that other people can receive it. While you share information, you also send out a frequency that people who are tuned to it will pick up. Last, click the like button. Don't think of this simple click as a sign of approval. Instead, think of it as your energetic stamp on this gearbox. You are the one who put your thumbprint in the quantum field and said, "This activation is mine. It has been sent to me. It's now a part of my reality." This strong signal of resonance is picked up by the algorithm of the universe, just like the one on this platform. The awareness that started this script is not the same awareness that is ending it. You can't close up the hole that has opened inside you. It has been agreed upon that something must not be forgotten. The book didn't just open for you. From now on, you read it, follow it, and live your life based on it. That's what the transmission was below the words. In terms of frequency, not ideas. In activation, not in teaching. Once the manual is open, it doesn't close again. As you learn to read it more clearly and act on its advice more consistently, your life will now continue to change and transform. Leave one last comment below, but don't use it to explain anything. Instead, use it as a promise to yourself and the universe. It's enough to write, "I see the manual." In that statement, what has been opened is acknowledged. Your consciousness has become aware of its own creative process, that you are now using the manual instead of the old programming to do things. You're not just learning how things work in the reality. You know how things work because you are reality. You have just been given the operating system for your own wonderful life by the quantum field. It is not information that is separate from you. It is the deepest recognition of what you really are. Hold on just a moment. You made it this far, which means this message was meant for you. This isn't just luck. It's proof that you are ready for a major change. The universe is giving you a clear signal right now. It's time to move from struggling and chasing to easy receiving and flow. This simple idea can completely change your life. Stop forcing outcomes and start tuning into the natural flow where blessings multiply and show up in every area of your life. By clicking the link below, you are immediately stepping into a positive, high-energy community, a place where you learn the practical steps to stay aligned. You'll get immediate, early access to simple tools and clear teachings that help you see opportunities and resources that are currently hidden from most people. This is your chance to get the direct guidance, unwavering support, and fast progress you need to reach your true potential. Don't let this moment of readiness pass you by. Your breakthrough is just one click away. Join our Ready to Receive community immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is the simple way to ensure you always get the personalized guidance you need to elevate and empower your life exactly when you need it. If you want to go deeper and master this shift, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And if you feel like supporting this mission so we can reach more people who are ready, a link to buy me a coffee is there. Your support is always appreciated, but just showing up and focusing your energy is everything. Click the link. Your perfect timing is now.